Hello, and welcome to Brendy Presents The Movie Test of Time, a podcast about revisiting our youth through the only medium that matters, the movies. Thanks for joining us. My name is Andy Young, and I'm one of your trivial, intense hosts. Joining me, as always, is our other trivial and intense host, Beth Martin. Beth, a pleasure as always. What's the crack?
Oh, the crack. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about myself like I do every
Okay.
week. I I've just kind of hit this point where I'm fucking done with my shitty issues,
Okay.
whatever they are, right? Insomnia,
Uh-huh.
stress, lack of exercise, poor diet,
Mm-hmm.
and I part of it's like next year Mike is going to be in the UK a lot and also traveling for work, and I have to like he's so kind. He's so kind.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, you didn't sleep, sleep in. I'll get the kids up. Like when I'm here, I'm on point. So I get to like la-di-da sleep until like 8:30. Sorry, everyone. I know you hate me. But it also means like you're up all night. Uh, so yeah, like I just I've just been hitting points where I'm just like, I need to change my behavior or I need to
Mm-hmm.
change like whatever this is because I cannot live like this anymore. Um, so like my mental health is bonkers right now. Like I was hysterically crying yesterday.
Mm.
Mike was like he just like held me, let me cry, and he's like, there's like nothing like I'm like like you know the things I say to myself, Andy, it's like
Mm-hmm.
stupid. But I'm like, you
Yep.
don't deserve a wife like this. Like you deserve somebody that can like have fun with you and go do whatever you want to do. And I'm like stuck at home. I couldn't like the kids had a 4-day weekend and he was like, okay, I'll like I had to spend 24 hours in bed basically. And that just throws me back into like, all the shame spirals. But
Sure.
like, and I wasn't sleeping. And so, and crying and just like, but I'm working with a nurse psychiatrist right now, and she's helping me with because I'm trying to get off of they put me on so many medications, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
just over it. I'm over it. I'm over about like worrying about refills and like trying to figure out how to like what is making me feel this way. I don't even
Yep.
know what my baseline is anymore. I don't
Yep.
know. So, I'm doing, I finally, for the first time ever, I've done like sleep training in a certain way, but I've never actually done a sleep study. And because of
Ooh.
COVID, you have these options now where you can actually do a sleep study in your home.
Okay.
And so they're gonna send me it's like I don't know, I'll take photos and make it worth every once in a while, but it's basically like it's like a patch that looks like a figure eight that goes on your chin.
Okay.
Or there's like another option, but it's like way more like invasive. This one, she's like, you barely notice it. You wear it for like 2 nights, and then they figure out whether or not you have like sleep apnea, how many hours you're up a night. And then don't hate me, but there is something called CBT, not CBD. I think there's been some miscommunication about CBT and
Yep.
CBD and how we say it. So if we are talking about CBD, which I don't think we've ever talked about, we're actually talking about CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy.
Yes.
So they have this now for insomnia specifically.
Okay.
So so right now I'm recording on this app, like when I go to bed, when the lights go out, when I fall asleep, when I wake up, how long it takes to fall back asleep, and like if I'm up, like I was up 3 times the other night. I'm sorry, everybody. Um, so she gave me based on like 3 nights, she was like, all right, like let's do it for a full week. We'll meet again next Tuesday, and then we'll see like what your score is. But like right now, your score like you're in bed, for sometimes like 12 hours and you're sleeping like
Mm,
7 of those hours. And I was like, yeah, my bed, it feels like it's like my safe place, it's my happy place, but it's also like my jail. And she
yeah.
was like, that's a really good way to think about it. Cause like being bedridden for so long, like it becomes, you make it comfy and nice. You can like relax and chill, but like then you don't ever want to leave it.
Yeah.
So I'm so I have to I have to do what I did to my children when they were like toddlers and like sleep train myself.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna have to like go to bed at a certain hour and get up at a certain hour, whether or not I've been up during the night. And I'm not allowed to like lay in bed. Like I'll like lay in bed and like work on the podcast. I'll lay in bed and read a book
Sure.
during the day, And so I'm not gonna be allowed to do that anymore.
You know, like set hours.
I have a well, and she'll figure out like what those hours
Hmm.
are, but she was like, so I don't know, it's all fascinating and like having sleep trained toddlers. I mean, that wasn't easy, so I'm pretty sure as an adult I can do it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
so I'm trying to figure that out. So I'm a mess
Yeah.
and I'm depressed and I'm crying all the time.
That sucks. I mean, I am happy that, you have a plan of action for it, at
I
least
do.
anyway. But
I
like,
do.
that all sounds awful and I hate to hear that you're having all that. Yeah. Um, I'm One of the things I wanted to ask about psychiatric nurse is, do they have the power to then both prescribe and take you off medication, that sort of thing? Like it,
Yes.
so okay,
Yes.
okay, that's good.
Yes. So they
Okay.
can prescribe and also it's called titration.
Hmm.
So take like wean you off of or
Yes.
take you because a lot of these, like I'm not going to say all the things I'm on, but I've managed to get off a lot of them, and I'm very proud. There are a few that I can't do it by myself,
Yeah.
and so it's a titration plan. I only get a certain number of whatever per week, and I'm
Hmm.
like she tells me exactly what time to take it and how much, and like the reduction is very, very small.
Mm.
But I feel better about doing it under the care of like a
Yeah,
psychiatrist.
absolutely. No, I think you're absolutely
Yeah,
right. They have the
yeah,
experience. Yeah, because it's like, with mirtazapine antidepressants that I got off them for a while, and then like it completely turned my sleep to shit, and that was really bad for mental health. So like I'm on the smallest dose now, and it helps me sleep. It's kind of frustrating that it's like they will not prescribe me sleeping tablets, but because as a like weird side effect to this
yes,
antidepressant, it helps me sleep. They're like, okay,
yes.
cool, we'll slide this
Yeah.
in the back door. It's like it's
Yeah.
so
It's
fucking
called
weird.
off
Yeah,
label, Andy.
so
Which I'm like, we're allowed to prescribe off label. I'm like, that makes no sense.
I'll take
That
it.
makes no sense.
I mean,
But look at GLP-1s, right?
yeah.
They're finding actually, because yeah, it doesn't matter. They're finding that GLP-1s is helping a lot of people with long COVID,
Oh,
which
how interesting.
uh frankly that has not been my experience. It has
Mm.
the opposite, as most things do with me, it has the opposite effect. Um, but I'll try anything once, you know me. But yeah, they're finding, and they're also finding that it's helpful for people that have addiction issues. It's
Oh,
like
okay.
your appetite not only for food but also for like alcohol and or drugs um lessens, and so
That's interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and and I suppose it is always about how,
But that's off label.
yeah, yeah. But that's exactly what it is. Like, it's the idea of like every sort of drug having a certain effect is kind of completely wrong because it entirely depends on the body that's receiving it, how they respond to what's in it, and things like that. It's wild. So it is such a frustrating kind of roll of the dice, really, isn't it? Yeah.
It is. It is. And I've done like genetic tests that show like things that, my body will react to positively and or no, it's like, yeah, you're in the green, you're in the kind of yellow, or like you're in the red, and red is bad, and yellow is like, we'll see, and green is like, you're good to go. And I found that to be finally like some sort of accurate data that like I can
Okay.
give to a practitioner. Anyways, other than that, things are fine, Andy. How are
Other,
you?
other than that, one more thing, because I couldn't
Yes,
before, is that like, do you have, I'm sure you have at least a version of this that doctors talk about, but we have a thing over here called SAD, seasonal affectation disorder, which is they think
yes,
that coming into autumn, people get more depressed and things like that.
yes,
Okay,
yes.
yeah, I'm just curious. I mean, because I am sort of, I'm going to talk about this a little bit, but I am in
Oh,
quite a
yeah.
depressive state right now, and like I kind of get we were frustrated with people going, oh, that'll just be SAD, and I'm like, I while I think that probably isn't helping, I don't think that is the root cause of what's going on with me at all, but I definitely think it is
It's like
it's
a
making it worse.
contributing factor.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
But yeah.
like you guys, daylight savings time is real.
Yeah. Oh, see, like, and this is one of the reasons I am very grateful I don't have like a full-time job now because like I remember when I was working a 9 to 5 job,
Mhm. Yes.
arriving it was
Yes.
dark, and then
Yes.
leaving and it was dark, and it's like this
Yes.
fucking blows. This
Yes.
completely blows.
Yes.
So I am not I am happy not to be doing that currently. But like, so just to say, like, I feel like, and I've talked about it a little bit, I talked about trying to get a the autism diagnosis and stuff like that, and like I have been so kind of up and down on that in terms of like I think I would love to like just go to a psychiatrist who could like look at the gamut of stuff rather than
You
the
diagnosing
specific
yourself.
thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it feels like that's not something that's super available. So in the short term, as I say, because I really have found I'm struggling a lot again. I think I'm going to at least start seeing a therapist again, and I'm just going to kind of go from there because I think it's like become a need, not a want in recent time, So we'll see how we get
Yes.
on.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I'm gonna
but
hold you to it.
yes, you please do.
He was like, be
But
my accountability buddy. I'm
yeah,
like,
I
I
did.
will.
I did tell her before the
He
podcast.
never asked for anything, so I guess we'll do this one thing.
That's true. Um,
You're like,
but
put the files in Google Drive. I'm like, damn it, Andy. Why are you always asking for things?
um, but I also, on a more fun note, I've been to the cinema twice since I saw you last. I went
Okay.
to see the Chainsaw Man anime. I don't know if you've any idea what Chainsaw Man is.
No, no.
It's like
Nor like which movie theater would be like, yes, we're going to carry this film
a surprising
at the
amount because like
cinema.
yeah,
Really?
because
Okay.
like I was surprised that the UK got any sort of release, but it's a big deal. Like so basically it is a guy who's like he lives in a world where they fight demons, and there's demons that are like of a specific type. So say for example, there's a bomb demon, there's a gun demon, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
There's like a typhoon demon. It's just classic anime logic. It's just completely
Yes.
madness. So this guy has merged with a chainsaw demon, and he can turn into like half man, half chainsaw. He's got chainsaw head, chainsaw arms, chainsaw legs, and
That's pretty fucking cool.
it rocks. And like it's really daft, and like he, because like I really enjoyed the original anime, which is like 12 episodes long. I think I might have talked to you about it before because he had one of the most relatable like what's the word I'm looking for? Whenever they have reasons to do something like the most kind of recognizable drive I've ever seen, or most kind
Uh-huh.
of, I guess, relatable drive, which was that he was a young boy who lived in the streets, and now all he wants to do is touch boobs for the first time, and that basically that arc,
You did not tell me this.
right? That arc takes up like the first 10 episodes of that show, and then it's like the ennui when he finally touches. It's very
Oh
interesting. So it was great fun and very entertaining. Because it's just silly and fun, and like despite being, I think I kind of love that where it's a something that has a ridiculous premise, but and then actually sneaks in some real kind of poignancy and kind of actually real crunchy character stuff. I kind of really love that combination. I also saw the Predator movie, Predator Badlands.
Was it good?
Yeah, enjoyed it. It
It
was like
has Elle Fanning's in it,
yes,
right?
she is,
Oh,
and
okay.
she's pretty great in it as well.
I
Um,
like saw her like I don't know. It was like a quick thing with like an eyeball and something else, and I was like, what the fuck? I like it was yeah,
it's
fast.
almost like a bit of a buddy movie with her and the Predator, kind of like, and it's like it's the silliest the Predator movie has ever been, I think, but I feel like it was just the right side of silly for me. Like, they have like a sort of silly animal sidekick, and I was like, I was like, I really don't know about this, and I was like, but they kind of make it work as it goes on. But yeah, I thought it was good fun, and it is one of these films that I think is worth seeing if you're want to see a bit of like daft sci-fi.
In the
It's
theater.
it's perfect. It's a great theater movie. It just looks fantastic, and I think the sound, in the movies will be is great to see. So definitely recommend both of those.
Good. Love it. Yeah, I'm excited about the new Predator. Mike loves Predator
Yep.
movies. Any and all of them. Any and all of them.
Did you watch
Good,
Prey?
bad. Yeah, I liked Prey. I liked Prey. I
Yeah.
liked Prey. But when it's like, I don't know. Yeah, once we got to like Alien versus Predator, I was
Yeah,
like,
those
what the
films are
fuck are you guys doing?
yeah,
What the
that those
fuck? I mean, I
I
get it's like who are the two? Like it's like Kong and Godzilla. I get it. Of our time, well, I don't know. I
those
have to think on that.
those movies are most, I think that like, but I think that actually most of the mainline Predator movies have been pretty decent. Like, I think one's fantastic, obviously. Well, actually, sorry, that is not true. There have been a few really, I've just forgotten those two that I'd forgotten about. Predators isn't bad, but there was one called The Predator that was fucking terrible. So yeah, but by and large, they've got a better hit rate than I think a lot of franchises, so
Yeah,
we're gonna,
agreed.
um,
Yeah, people show up. They turn up. Yeah, they
um,
turn up for it.
they do. But anyway, right. So, um, that's all I've got. Do you have any what's occurring for us this week?
I do. We got a recommendation for the Thin Red Line, and I was like,
Oh.
yeah. I mean,
I've
I don't know if I've actually ever seen it,
never seen it
but I'm
either.
a Sean Penn fan. Um,
Oh my
mostly
God.
because he was married to Madonna, and like anyone that can do that. And then this is almost real time. This came in yesterday. So from our top fan
Sure.
in the Wall Street episode, Wall Street, because I was like trying to fit. I went down the wormhole of like, what is the origin of Wall Street? Why is it called Wall Street? All that kind of stuff. So our friend said Wall Street is also a metonym for financial business hub, and the British equivalent is the city, referring to financial hubs in London, which I didn't know that. I thought
Okay.
it was called the financial district.
Sure.
Major British businesses report their performance to the city, and in the British media, you can ask if other places have a Wall Street, but I only know what they would call it here
Yeah.
in Great Britain, or the UK, sorry. And then, wow, you guys are dropping movie episodes so fast, I can barely keep up with all the things I want to say.
Hmm.
Not to shame you for not knowing Oliver Stone was a Vietnam veteran, but yeah, Stone is on record as saying he was basically a strung out, depressed young man who didn't think he was capable of killing himself, but opted to enlist for the war in Vietnam. Sorry, Vietnam. We say it both ways here.
Sure. It's
And
fine.
the understanding that he would go to the war and not come back. I'd argue that there is a cross-cultural millennia old tradition of this practice amongst despondent young men, but I digress. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
He did come back, however, but still plenty of demons. Then he saw Taxi Driver,
Nice.
and it affected him profoundly. He said, I was Travis Bickle. Was wearing my flak jacket, might have even been driving a cab, I don't recall the interview exactly, and I wanted to park tanks on the White House lawn to overthrow the government. Instead, he channeled all of his anger into filmmaking, turning out a few bangers in his career before, in my view, sadly deteriorating into an aged, coke-fueled crank. Aspherophobe? I don't even know what that means.
Okay.
Egomaniac who hates dictators. And The
Yeah.
Doors made me want to take drugs when I saw it at age 13 because it made being high look cool as fuck and fun.
That's all fair. Yeah, like that's some interesting points. I yeah, no, I definitely agree about like I think we talked a little bit about Oliver Stone's decline like in his latter years as well, but he has absolutely got some absolute bangers in his back catalog. I
I
didn't realize.
just Yesterday was American Veterans Day, so I was
Okay.
like I saw there was some like reel and it was like look at all the actors that are it's like Adam Driver and like actors that are actually veterans that actually
Hmm.
fought and he wasn't in the reel, and I do have a lot of respect for people that enlist. And there's that I'm not going to go all the way into that, but
Sure.
anyways, there's a show on Netflix that I watched called, oh, I'm not gonna I don't remember offhand. So but it's just it's such a it's to back up to this person's point about this tradition about despondent young man joining the forces,
Hmm.
like that. I would say that has been a very long-standing tradition.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like it. Like it. Um, okay. Do you have anything
It
else?
was
I'm
clear.
wearing.
That was a clarification and what's occurring.
Perfect. I love it.
Yeah,
I was going to say I'm just noticing the time if we want to get into our subject maybe. But
probably
before I do, what I want to say
no.
is immediately I want to hard veto the thin red line because I just looked it up. I haven't. I know I've never seen it, and it's 2 hours 50 minutes long. So that's a no for
That's a no
me.
for Andy.
That's a no for me. And
It's a Terrence Malick
it's a Terrence
film.
Malick film, so it will be a lot of meandering. But with all respect, Terrence Malick, it'll be a
Yes.
lot of meandering bullshit for 3 hours. So I'm good.
Okay. I'll watch this by myself.
Yeah.
Uh, I'll
Okay.
give you a book report
Cliff
about
notes.
it.
Yeah. Please. Please. Please.
Okay,
Please.
so we should.
Yes.
Uh,
Let's get into
you
our
don't
topic.
come here for actual content, though. You guys know
Hell
that. You
no.
just come to hear us, you know.
When these are leaving like maybe a timestamp so people are like, if you want to skip past Beth and Andy's bullshit.
Technically, I think I can start doing that.
Okay.
Uh, at least on
Yeah,
Spotify,
okay,
but
okay.
like we're getting is yeah, I can do that. I can
Yeah.
do that. I can figure that out.
It's just a thought.
We have
Anyway,
the technology.
we have
Okay,
the technology.
so welcome to the game.
Hmm.
I actually have no game to play with you at all. We're
Would
just
you
gonna
like to
talk about
play a
this movie.
game? Yeah.
I know. So Michael Douglas, we're on a Michael Douglas kick right now.
Yes, we are.
Because how could you not be? So he plays Nicholas Van Orton. Only the most rich people have a Van something in
Yeah.
their name. So okay, I'm gonna go a little deep already. Because on the surface, you're like, this is a movie that's, just this guy and he's playing this fucked up game for rich people.
Hmm.
So he's a Scrooge-like San Francisco investment banker, following in his father's Scrooge-like footsteps. On Nicholas's 48th birthday, the age at which his father committed suicide, his younger, free-spirited brother Conrad, played by Sean Penn, blows into town and gives Nicholas a special gift for the man who has everything, a ticket to CRS, Consumer Recreation Services, a company that constructs games custom fit for each participant to provide as a CRS salesman. This is too long. Anyways, so Nicholas's secure life begins to go downhill and slides as CRS masterminds a series of elaborate pranks, harmless at first, that quickly become malicious and life-threatening. Stripped of financial resources and convinced that he can trust no one, Nicholas begins to wonder if CRS is a front for a more covert operation, and if the game is in fact an attempt to steal his fortune and leave him for dead. Determined to fight back alone, Nicholas infiltrates CRS in order to pull back the curtain and meet the wizard. That was not a ploy for everyone to go see Wicked for good.
Well, I'd
Right?
be like, hey, if you
And if
need
you
a,
wanna, I have to. I have a
I
daughter.
probably will go as well, in fairness. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's so interesting. It's been a while. When was the last time you saw this film?
It used to be kind of on my rotation, I feel
Okay.
like, but it was like, it's been, I feel like I've seen it like 5 or 6 times,
Okay. Okay.
but the last time was probably like in the early 2000s.
Okay.
No, mid 2000s, late 2000, mid like 2015.
It's us actually doing this, like
What
doing this
about
podcast.
you?
I think I don't think I've seen it since release. I saw it in the cinema. I don't think I've seen it again, but it's actually us doing this podcast has been a reminder to me of how rarely I revisit films like certain, big touchstones, like obviously Star Wars films or like The Matrix or things like that. I've seen a handful of times, but like there's so much that I just haven't rewatched. And films that I really love. I rewatched True Grit recently just because the other podcast I listened to is doing a Coen Brothers thing, and I was like, shit, that was incredible. And why don't I watch this things like this more often,
Which
Uh,
version?
it was the Coen
Which
Brothers
True
one
Grit?
from
Which
2010
True
with
Grit? The
Jeff.
newer one?
Yes, the newer one,
Okay,
which was is
gotcha.
just absolutely fantastic.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, so I hadn't seen this in a long time, and I only remember like nuts and bolts of the story. And it's always interesting, seeing these things through the lens of time, just exactly what we're trying to do here, and kind of going. Also trying to remember, where I was at the time and how I feel about it now, because I barely like. As I say, apart from like the bare bones, I remember the ending. I don't really remember very much of this film at all. Um,
Good. I
yes.
I feel like I rewatch. a lot of movies. If it hits me in any sort of way,
Yeah.
I will. And granted, I will like watch something to death. Like I watched The
Yeah.
Doors to death in college,
Fair.
and the movie She's All That with Freddie Prinze Jr.
Maybe we need to do like a Val Kilmer season in the new year so I can finally
I
watch The
think
Doors.
so.
All right, let's think
Yes.
about
Yeah, I think we
that.
should. And you know,
Ring in the new year with Val.
with Val, I think that would be
Okay.
fitting for
Um,
2026, whatever that means.
I yes, I have a few things just because they're not pertinent to the core of the movie, but just because you mentioned them in your intro talking about the story. Um, so the opening to this film, and I guess obviously it influenced this show, was is very reminiscent of Succession. Because like Succession
Interesting.
has basically, footage of them as children trying to like get their father's affection, things like that, and it is and like pictures of them at parties and things like that, and pictures of like maybe not obscene wealth, but like clear privilege and things like that. And I thought that was a very clearly an influence on Succession because obviously it came out quite a few years later. The other thing I did when I was researching and doing my own research was I found out that in the flashback scenes, the guy that plays his father is Charles Martinet. And I think 95% of the world's population are going to see Charles Martinet and go, I have no idea
Who the
who that
fuck is
is.
that?
It's going to be meaningless. Do you know who that is?
I do only because I looked at the fact. So
Okay.
you tell.
Perfect. So
There,
basically,
I have another
I was like,
fact too.
holy shit. That's Charles Martinet is famous as being the voice of Mario. He
Yeah.
is so it's me, Mario.
I mean,
That
so
is Charles
he
Martinet. That's
did,
his main
yes,
role.
he's Super Mario. Yeah.
Incredible.
I almost like woke my son up to be like, that's
Sure.
that man,
Yeah.
because we were watching it
It's
late
a
last night.
him.
Because I like to save things for it's a he, it's a him. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. It's kind of like watching The Matrix for the second time or watching like
Mhm.
um oh, I'm blanking on it. The Sixth Sense for the
Yes.
second time where you know the twists and the
You know where
turns
it's
and
going.
then you know where it's going and so you're like rewatching it with the knowledge
Yeah.
of, God or whatever. Um so I've seen it enough times where I knew this, but I like the twists and turns and I was like, who played the blonde? Was it Gwyneth Paltrow? Like I couldn't remember who
Uh-huh.
who and all the people. I don't know how they got Sean Penn to do this movie or play this character. And
Maybe.
that it's interesting. Like we'll dig a little bit into the
Hmm.
drama of filming this movie, but I also noticed um that I don't know if you ever watched I know you're not hip to documentaries.
Hmm.
This is one I always recommend to people. It's called The Jinx. It's on HBO, in the States at least, and it's about
Oh
Robert
yeah.
Durst.
I've heard of it.
And so this documentary shows all of these old family videos, and he saw his mother jump off the roof and commit suicide
Oh
when he was
wow.
about 7 or 8 years old. Yeah.
Oh God, I didn't know that. That's wild.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like watching this movie and I was like, oh my God, it's the fucking Jinx. Like it's that. And so this must be, right. This must be, um, like every family has its issues. Not to say that like every family has like, a parent that throws himself off a building or
Sure.
whatever, but like money doesn't necessarily create happiness
No, absolutely not.
as we're seeing in, a lot of what we're watching. And I was like, the Michael Douglas character is so close to Gordon Gekko, but they filmed each movie, it was like a decade in between both
Yep.
of them. So he did all these other movies, but I was just like, why go back to this? Why go
That's
back to this
true.
character?
It's a very similar. I mean, like it's obviously he's not as maybe extravagant
No,
and
he's like an investment banker in San Francisco instead of New York.
yes, that's true.
Sorry.
He doesn't seem like to be as colossal a piece of shit as Gordon Gekko, but he's certainly not
No.
a great dude,
Yeah.
and he like has is very closed off as well. Um, Interesting.
Anyways,
Um,
yeah. It's just interesting that you brought Succession up because I was like, yeah, that's like this is a pattern in these like financial families.
Oh, I think that's what I loved. I mean, I adore Succession anyway. I think it's an incredible show. But like, I think that's what I loved about it is that exploration of these kind of characters who have anything you could possibly want, and they're still absolutely fucking miserable. You know,
I
like
stopped watching it because of that.
yeah,
I'm just like, they're so unhappy, they hate each other. But then I'm like, oh fuck, Kieran Culkin is in that.
yeah.
And I
I
love
th
it, everything about all
I
of his shit.
think what to me, I mean, I think it was a very funny show, but I think that to me, what the greatest trick that that show kind of did was that it really made me feel sympathy for some of them. Like they were bastards and they kind of deserved all the shit that they got, but like it really humanized them in a really kind of interesting way. And like I think that, there's nothing more interesting than a complex character, because like everybody
Absolutely.
everybody is complex. And it's something that like movies obviously struggle to fully explore because they just don't have the time that a series would,
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
I also understand why people would stop watching Succession because it can be a huge bummer at times as well. Um, so I'll talk a little bit about. So this was David Fincher's third movie, I think. I'm pretty certain he was like a
That's
um, music video director, and he did his talking about. Well, okay, his first feature film debut was Alien 3, which,
is that the one where
uh,
they're in the prison?
yes,
Okay.
which has like a kind of like, I think it has like, in terms of the reaction to it, there's restoration. I have not seen it for years, so
Is
I
she
can't.
pregnant with the alien baby
Um,
in that one? I feel like she is.
that one, the alien comes from a dog. I can't remember exactly,
Okay.
but like, but it gets
Not
even
the
more.
dog.
It gets even more complicated as it goes on. But the I think that like it's one that I think its reputation has been reclaimed over the years, but still not regarded as a high point in the kind of Aliens franchise.
No.
Um, he did obviously before this Seven, which was you know a huge hit, a deeply bleak and grim movie. I rewatched it recently when it was on the cinema, and I was just like, wow, I just forgotten how grim that film is. It's just
Yeah.
relentless.
Yeah.
Um, just we referenced it recently with the Leather Andy
Yep.
persona.
Leather and yes. Yes. You're like, I
Uh,
gotta watch that again.
but it's so interesting to me, like seeing this, because like I find this also to be kind of quite relentless and I mean, like hard to watch, but a bit grueling, because it's just like it really kind of like ramps up way quicker than I expected and doesn't really let up for a long time. Just builds and builds and builds the pressure.
It felt like like the George Miller like pressure of
Yeah,
like Mad Max. That's
yeah,
what it felt like a little bit to me. It's like they like had their foot on the throttle and they
big
just
time.
fucking
And
went with it.
I respect it for that, but as a result, I found it kind of quite, quite hard at times. Um, but what's really interesting to me is that like I don't know. I always find, director's career so fascinating in so many ways. But his next film that is due on the slate is The Adventures of Cliff Booth, which is a
What have I heard?
movie. Cliff Booth is
What
one of
have
the characters in Quentin Tarantino's last film, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So Fincher is doing a quasi sequel based on a Tarantino film, and I'm like, what's happening? What's going on with the film business these days? I
Oh,
mean, that could be good, but it's weird.
uh-huh. Okay, I saw this is off topic, but I was at the movies last night. I'll tell you about that when
Okay.
we talk about Joy, but they had a preview for Anaconda.
Yeah.
So but the premise of the movie is these kids went to like college together and they loved the movie Anaconda, and their dream is to like remake Anaconda. And so it's like Jack Black, Paul Rudd, and it's them, and you'll be the director. And they're like trying to get money from the bank, and they're like, well, it's how much is it going to cost? They're like 2.5 million, and then like they kill the snake, and then there actually is a snake, and I was just like, this is an interesting premise.
It is. It
I'm
feels.
not upset about this.
No, I am, and I like. I mean, obviously, it's got like two of my faves in leading roles
Yeah,
as well. So like
yeah.
that alone makes it worth. But I'm like, this could so easily go wrong. It
Oh
feels
yeah.
like, the snake eating its tail has. It ate its tail three times in a row now. It's kind of like, it's just, it really feels. it feels like we're caught in a loop in a way that is kind of traumatizing. But I think whenever they, it's talented people involved, these things can work. So I'm cautiously optimistic about that.
I am too. Well, and I know you're going to see it in the theater. And I was like, I might
Hell
even see
yeah,
this in the theater.
probably
And
I will.
Charles was like, I don't like this movie. Are snakes that big real? And I was like, no, buddy.
No.
They made it extra big. It's supposed to be funny.
Love it.
So the director, what's his name again?
David Fincher.
David Fincher. I feel like he works with his wife
I think you're
on
right.
most of
Yep.
his films.
Hmm.
And they had some disagreement about this movie. We'll get
Okay.
into that a little bit. But so basically, it was written by these two dudes, John Briccato and Michael Ferris. Um, they sold it to MGM, but it was put in the turnaround, which basically is like a turnstile, and it's like maybe someone will pick it up, maybe they won't. Uh, blah blah blah. A lot of like who this person came on, this person didn't. So anyways, Steve Golan, the producer, he finally bought the script from MGM, gave it to David Fincher, hoping that he would direct it. Fincher liked the plot twists and brought it to Andrew Kevin Walker for a rewrite. I guess they had worked together on Seven, to make the character of Nicholas more cynical. And then they signed on Michael Douglas. But they wanted this movie to be a fashionable, good-looking Scrooge story,
Oh, that's
yeah.
interesting. Hmm.
So like Mission Impossible, so they're like doing Scrooge with fashion and Mission Impossible with a steroid shot in the thigh from the Sting,
Okay.
which it feels like a lot, right? When you're
Yeah, that's
watching
a
it, you're just like, this is a lot.
it does. Yeah, that sounds overstuffed when presented that like that, but that actually kind
Yeah.
of lines up with a lot of it. I'm like, okay, yeah, I can see all of that. Wow.
Yes. So Fincher says, that the film is about loss of control. The purpose of the game is to take your greatest fear, put it this close to your face, and say, there, you're like, I'm still alive and everything is still okay. Which,
Mm.
like, that hasn't been my experience,
I uh,
but
that's interesting. Like because like I was trying to kind of like, and I since have done some research and or read a little bit about what they were aiming for with it, because like, obviously the motif is that his father committed suicide at the same age that he currently is, and this is a way to for him to kind of process that, I guess, and kind of because like I think that and the unanswered nature of that has trapped him in this sort of like loop
loop.
of being very closed off and not getting close to people and things like that.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, it's so like, to the extent where it kind of drive, it's a need for control that then drives him, that they need to get him out of, that then kind of drives him kind of nuts, and he ends up having to do the same sort of thing that his father did.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's interesting. I think that like that kind of, because I felt whenever the actual ending, I found it a wee bit twee, and I was like, oh, but that's okay. It kind of represents the kind of progress he's made in terms of who he is, I suppose.
And when you think of it from like, is it the Christmas Carol? What's the name of is it the
A
Christmas
Christmas
Carol?
Carol, yeah, yeah, yeah,
So this concept of like, okay, you're an asshole,
yeah.
right? And like his brother gives him this gift of this game,
Hmm.
and he has to go in and he has to do this like whole psychological evaluation, so it's like tailor-made for him. And then it's like this twist start when the people call him from the company and they're like, sorry, you failed, like you didn't pass the test, good luck to you. uh that's them throwing him off and like not assuming
Yes.
that like shit's gonna start getting real fucking weird
Yeah.
real fucking fast. But they also like include his brother in this game, and like his brother's like, they're coming, like this is a whole plot, and like it's so interesting to see how fast the I mean, I'm like, is this possible?
Yeah.
A,
I mean,
and like, is this what rich people do for
this
fun?
is true. This is true. The first thing I was going to ask was, is A Christmas Carol based on the Muppets Christmas Carol?
Oh, good question. No,
What? So it's not the original text?
it's not the original text.
Okay, well, I think we'll have to agree to disagree on that
So
one.
so yeah, so he's basically like visited by, his past, present, and
Yeah,
future.
Rizzo the Rat. Yeah.
Right, exactly. God, I can't with you. Um, and in the end, he finds retribution and, God bless us, everyone.
Yes. I think
Mickey,
that
the Mickey Mouse version, but that's
yes.
okay.
Okay. Um yes. No, I yeah, I can't it's interesting. I hadn't really thought about it from the Christmas Carol or that perspective, but it does make a ton of sense as well. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously
And
heavily
also,
modified, but
yes. So
uh,
like then I was like, well, what do rich people do for fun? And then I'm like, they play Squid Game for real. They go to Jeffstein's private island. Like, right? Like at a certain point,
yeah, it's true.
you numb out and then you have to like play something like this to make you feel alive again.
I
And his brother had done this game before him and he was like, I'm off drugs, like I don't need anything. I
yeah,
figured it out kind of
yeah.
thing. And this is
Yeah.
this is
Yeah,
what did it.
that's true. I
So,
think that like to answer your because you said would this be possible and the answer is
yeah.
absolutely not. I mean like
No.
there's no way. Like in terms
No.
of all the moving pieces and the things that could have gone wrong, there is no way you could do this. It's lovely as a film, but it would just be absolutely impossible. When you have somebody who doesn't really fully understand what's going on, it would be an absolute nightmare to try to predict him or to push him down a very kind of specific path, like but
Yeah.
very it's still premise wise super cool, super cool.
Yeah. Agreed.
um
Agreed.
so the music, I didn't realize this was by Hard Shore.
Really?
Yeah, right.
I was like feeling bad for you.
No, because I was like, what do you mean in terms of having to look up who did the music?
No, and
uh
like and they like you focus on it more than I do because I'm like thinking about you're like fashion and music and I'm
sure,
like, my side of things. I'm not, but like I couldn't handle the scary piano.
it was really
I was
unsettling.
like,
And
I could do this. I
yeah,
could I could be a conductor for scary movies.
I think that was one of the things that really kind of threw me off because it made me feel uncomfortable watching it. Was the music was just really unsettling all the way through. But Hardshore, and immediately I know Hardshore as the Lord of the Rings composer, but like it also apparently did, which I didn't realize because they then led me down a path of looking into his history. He did nearly all of Cronenberg's movies, and
Really?
he worked with Scorsese 6 times, and also he was the original musical director for SNL, right?
That's like Andy, you hit a gold mine.
I know, so cool.
Oh
I mean,
my
like
gosh.
I knew about. I mean, like in any sort of composer, I only know a handful of composers, I suppose. But any composer I
More
know
than you
is
think.
well, it's probably true. I mean, I suppose that considering my fascination with movies, I suppose I know quite a few. But like I think of it. I think he would be one that a lot of people would know, especially from Lord of the Rings. And so it's always but it's not so nobody had ever really kind of like delved into a little bit, so it was fascinating. But yeah, as I say, I thought like the Cronenberg Scorsese stuff, but that's cool, but that makes sense. He's a talented guy. He's had quite a career. But the SNL thing, I was like, whoa, okay,
Whoa.
what a place
Yeah.
to start. Yeah,
Yeah. That's so cool. That's
but
that's a good fun. That's good. That's good info.
right, but like good. I definitely the music worked very well. It felt minimal. It was mostly piano stuff, but like it was very effective in terms of what it was trying to do.
Yeah, which was to like make you feel uncomfortable
Yeah, and it did.
and like worried. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was. Good job, Hard.
Um,
Still alive. I hope he is. I'm gonna check.
so I guess they were planning to make this movie before Seven, which came out in 1995,
Huh?
but Brad Pitt became available for Seven,
I
and so
see.
they were like, "Oh no!" Fincher was like, I got Pitt. I got to make this happen."
Fair.
Um, so there's a woman that kind of plays not multiple roles, but she shows up at one point and then, he finds her and, he never really knows who she is. And then at the very end, she's like a nice lady who's got her job is to trick people into thinking that like their life is falling apart.
hmm
But the actress that played her actually like fractured her because they're jumping in and out of dumpsters and like there's the one scene I actually made a note of it. Hold on. Um, and this was because of Michael Douglas's amazing acting. I'm not even serious. When his face when he's being attacked by the dog should be a 101 film class on acting. He's just so upset and contorted over this dog like pulling on his pant legs.
Yeah.
But she like broke her foot and jumping in the dumpster, and it was actually infested with real rats
Oh
while they were
God.
working on the film. So someone was like, "We got the," because on the back lot, and I know this now, like they have all of the dumpsters from every era ever, and so you're like, "Yeah, number five," but
My
sometimes the rats move in. I'm
my
sure it's
thought
someone's job to get the rats out of the dumpsters usually, but they did not do their job
my
for
thought
this.
on that scene was $1,000 shoes shouldn't fall off that easily. Like
That's
they should
fucking
be
true.
molded to your feet.
Yes. Yes.
But
Yeah.
anyway,
There was a
uh,
lot of like yeah, there was a lot of the wealth, being
I,
thrown around.
I do get why that was important to be like, look how wealthy and out of touch this guy is, but like I was kind of like,
Yes.
come
Yeah.
on, man.
Yes.
But yes, and those like obviously, jumping ahead, those dogs got um, what animals? Andy's Animal Acting Award, obviously,
Yeah.
because they
Yeah.
did a great
They
job,
did a good
especially when
job.
they're like talking to each other through the fence for a little bit.
Yes. Yeah.
Um,
You're like, "Oh,
look at
chat
you
chat
guys,
chat."
look at you chatting. Um,
Okay,
hmm
go ahead.
no. You go for it. I didn't have anything specific.
So there was like there was a lawsuit with this movie because I
Ooh,
guess Jodie Foster, the Oscar winner, was originally signed to play the Michael Douglas sibling character instead of Sean Penn.
okay.
And then Foster was like, "No, no, I think I want to be like Douglas's daughter instead." And then like Douglas and Fincher were like, "No, no." And so they gave it to Sean Penn. And so Jodie Foster sued them for
Wow.
$54.5 million.
Did she get
Um,
it?
they settled out of court, but she got a lot of money because she was her production company is called Egg Pictures,
Yeah.
and they were actually one of the film's production companies. So,
I guess
uh,
they like buried the
yeah.
hatchet because they made a film together like a few years later.
Did they? Okay,
They made
good.
Panic Room, yeah.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
Yeah, that's so I mean like 5 years later or so, but like that's fascinating
Like
because
suing in Hollywood, it's like a
that's
handshake,
true. That is true.
Or
Like
like it's like a backhanded handshake. I don't know. There's
that's a good point.
something. It's like everyone sues everyone.
That's true. That's a very good point. Like, yeah, it's so true. Yeah, that's fascinating. I did not know about that at all. Um, who I it was such a kind of great collection of like kind of character actors. I thought going through it, there was like
Yes.
two different guys
Yes.
from Sons of Anarchy.
Yes.
Sure that I definitely have talked about in the podcast before that I watched a little bit, like it's trashy fun, and then they got to like the Northern Ireland season, and I was like, yeah, I can't watch this shit anymore. Uh, um, but it was, but like, again, two of the guys, the PI that follows him and the cab driver are both two kind of like character guys. Also the guy that plays the guy that onboards him in CRS in the first place is really
Hmm.
great. Like I always love to see him. So it was just like really kind of wonderful. And like of course Michael Douglas, Sean
Yeah.
Penn, and what he had
Yeah.
to do, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
But it's such
Yeah.
a like um it's so Michael Douglas focused. He is basically it for nearly
He's in
all of the movie, like every
Yes,
frame
it's kind of
nearly.
like watching Hamilton, where like Hamilton's in almost every
100%.
fucking scene. So I guess he
Like
was getting divorced during the time that they were
I
filming this.
see.
And so he was like throwing, I think it was mirroring like what was going on in his personal
Okay.
life.
How
And so we put a
interesting.
lot of his personal life like into the character and into the movie and like, you know, the redemption arc. In the movie, he's got like an ex-wife who's like, he shut her out and she went on to like, but she would still like call him on his birthday and all that kind of stuff. And they're
I
like
see.
making amends. And I was like, this is interesting
So
because he's
fascinating.
like going through that process. I wonder if he's still in touch with whoever that was that he was married to at the time.
Yeah. I the
I did not look.
yeah, no, I did because we were like, we've obviously been looking at him over the past few weeks. I don't know if they're in touch, but like, yeah, I think they share kids
Who
together. I'm
is
not sure.
who is
Um,
it?
Deandra Looker is her name.
Okay.
The other thing, sorry, I wanted to say was Deborah Kara Unger, who is the kind of main sort of female lead. Like, I mean, which is perhaps generous because she's in and out of the movie, but she's
Mhm.
like one of these actresses who is great, but just
Yeah,
didn't seem to be in loads of things. It's just one
yeah.
of these ones. It's hard to tell. It's probably like,
Yeah, she's easy to watch.
yeah,
I like the sound of her voice. Um,
yeah.
but I don't know what do they call it? Like the it factor. I mean, she made it into this movie, so
She did, and it's probably one of these things. I know difficult for everyone in Hollywood, but especially difficult for women in Hollywood. So
yeah.
it wouldn't surprise me if that
She
was
was like
something to
28 and they
contribute.
were like, "This is your last film."
Yeah, you're over the hill.
Okay,
Um,
so there was a mention of a pseudonym. His brother calls him to be like, come out for lunch, but he leaves the name of Seymour Butts,
yeah.
which if anyone watches The Simpsons, like you know about Seymour Butts. So I went down the Seymour Butts rabbit hole.
Hmm.
So Conrad's use of the pseudonym Seymour Butts and Nicholas's response of Under the Bleachers by Seymour Butts is a reference to a joke series, a book never written, featured in Boy's Life, which was the official magazine of the Boy Scouts of America.
Wow.
I know.
It legitimizes it in a messed up way.
It's legit. It's
Holy
like it's in
shit.
a published periodical, not just The
Incredible.
Simpsons. I mean, they steal from everybody, but
It's true. It's true. They also predict many things, so
yeah.
it's evened out nicely. It's evened out nicely. That's wild. It's such a good one. Did you ever do that? Did you ever prank call when you were younger?
Ever what?
Like prank call?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like, is your refrigerator running? We better go catch it. And like the Prince Albert in a
I
can, but like no one here really knew who Prince Albert was. So like
see.
no one really got that joke.
Okay.
I didn't even know who Prince Albert was. So I don't,
Sure.
but it was like, do you have Prince Albert in a can? Yes. And you let the poor guy out. So yes, I did. And it was like way more fun and less like creepy than once everyone started getting AOL Instant Messenger.
Yeah, it's
And
true.
then we were talking to strangers on the internet.
It
And her
used to be
parents
like,
had no clue.
yeah, just be a
And
harmless
that was
innocence to that
weird.
sort of thing, and
That
then
was
it just
weird.
like everything's been ruined. Everything, all
Yes.
of it. Um
Thanks to my friend Karen for that introduction to the internet.
um so yeah, I mean like because is there anything else you want to chat about? I'm just kind of wary of where we're at time wise.
I have one more person that you might have seen.
Hmm.
Um, so other than Charles Martinet, who was actually the voice of Mario from 1991 to 2023.
Hmm.
I hope he's still alive. I don't know why he's no
I
longer the
think he
official.
is.
Is it because of Chris
Yeah, well,
Pratt?
yeah, I could might be, but he's like they're not going to have him do the voice in the game because I remember like there was a comedy podcast I listened to and they were like, do you want to do an impression of Mario? And they're like, okay, hey, it's me, Mario. And it's like because how flat the Chris Pratt version was just not flat, but it was just like
Yeah.
Mario's voice is so lively, and then
Yes.
to get this like Chris Pratt voice was kind of like.
Yes.
Oh, okay. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, yeah. I know there was like there was a lot of online chatter and but some people were like, this is a scandal. So at the very end, he like falls through. It's like it gets more unrealistic as you go, but you still don't know what's happening, so it's fine. He falls through, like thinks Conrad is dead, and he's like, why am I even alive? So he throws himself off the building, lands, goes through shatters the glass ceiling and ends on this giant inflatable like people catcher.
Yep.
And they're like, okay, a team, like, and we're all here. And they like pull the glass off of him. But one of the paramedics, he's got like a flashlight. It's Spike Jones.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, just popped in to
Very cool. Love it.
be part of that.
Being there for his bud
Okay,
probably. And
I do have something else.
okay.
So there this kind of goes back to the Christmas Carol and like where they were like getting their idea. So there are also echoes of Franz Kafka
Hmm.
that are hard to miss in Nicholas's plight, like Joseph K. in The Trial. I have not read this, I should.
Okay.
I have a lot of autobiographies to read before I would get to this. He's
Sure.
caught in a series of senseless ordeals controlled by faceless people that he can't begin to understand, and viewers may also think of Thomas Pichon
Hmm.
when it starts to appear that the conspiracy against Nicholas includes everyone in the story except him, which is an
Interesting.
interesting. Yeah, I thought it was like that'd be super fucked up.
That's fair. Yeah, it really is.
They all
That's
know each other. They're all
yeah.
they're all in the cafeteria.
Love
I got a gun. I'm gonna shoot you all.
it.
Sorry.
She doesn't have a gun every day at home.
No, I don't. No,
It was a
no.
work. It was a work. Um. Okay. So we move on to our last few wee sections about the movie here.
Yeah.
Um. So first of all, no, actually, let's get to this first. So Tula's Yet to Fit. It was a tough
Mhm.
one.
Yeah, I
Like
know.
one of my notes I took was just 90s fashion sucks because it really does. It's just boring and shit. And I think probably Christine, the Deborah Cara Unger, had the best outfits.
Yeah.
But I had to give full respect for the polo neck and jacket combo that Michael Douglas wears at one point, which is iconic.
Yeah.
It
I
was
liked his outfit when he was like shipped down to Mexico
yeah,
too.
yeah. But yeah, but not slim pickings this week, I think, you know. Um, but in terms of this week, this movie, would you revisit, remember, refuse, or redo?
I think if you've never seen it before and you don't care that we just spoiled the whole movie
Yeah,
for you, you should watch. Like it's worth a watch,
yeah,
but I think I would have been okay to not see it
yeah.
again. So
I
I
think
think
I'm the same.
remembering is fine.
Yeah, I mean it's a good movie, absolutely,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
enjoyed remembering it, but like it's also kind of like I said, I am not a difficult watch, but also kind of quite intense at times as well. And like,
Yeah.
put me, and like I respect that in movies and I like seeing a movie that puts me in that place sometimes. But it can be quite tough going at times. But still thoroughly excellent movie. And yeah, as I say, if you haven't seen it before, it would be one that's worth a visit at some point.
Yeah. And you'll like recognize everything, like every
Yeah,
face. You're like, oh my God, that person's been in Yeah, it's definitely like they
true.
got a lot of yeah, I hope it sounded like yeah.
But
Well,
it's another one I was looking at and it was like, this is nearly 30 years old. And it's like,
isn't that crazy? So in
yeah,
that regard, like it does hold up, I
it does.
think.
It's true. It's true. Okay. Nice. So, Beth, in that case, what has been bringing you joy this week?
Okay, I went to see Back to the Future in a movie theater last
Nice.
night.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is a thing that I think we're going to be seeing more of
Mm-hmm.
because they're like the 25th anniversary of anything. So they're also doing the 25th anniversary of um The Grinch. They're
Yes,
re-releasing
we're
that. There's
getting that
another
as
one.
well, actually.
So we're
Yeah.
getting just these like re-releases in the theaters, and I'm like, at the be- at, I because I looked the other day and I was like, why the fuck are they doing Back to the Future in the theater? And then I was crying, and Mike was like, "Do you want me to take you to Back to the Future in the theater?" And I was like, "Yes,
Please.
please." And I was like at one point he leaned over and he was like, he had noticed something. He's like, I probably would never have seen that if we were watching this at home, and like
Mm-hmm.
we enjoyed it more.
Yeah.
Like the kids were like super like in because like we'll watch like dinner and a movie kind of thing, so like everybody's kind of like eating and chatting and like getting up and getting down. So it was like I really actually hope they do more of this, and this is gonna like bring back cinema more. Like The Matrix needs to be re like I want to see more of the movies that we
Yes.
love like in the theaters. It was so cool.
I
I'm probably not gonna go see The Grinch.
Yeah, no, that's fair. It's one you can skip. But like,
Yeah,
full respect to them to putting this stuff back on. And I mean, like, I completely agree with you completely. I think that the experience of seeing something on the big screen is just a world apart from seeing it at home. It's nice seeing
Yeah.
it at home, but it's
Yeah.
not even close to the
No.
same.
And
It's engaging in a way that's just impossible at home, I think.
you say this, and I like never believe you, but I
Yeah.
guess you're right.
Ha,
This
huzzah!
one, huzzah, this one time. I'll give you that.
Vindication.
And then we
Uh,
went out for sushi, and it was good.
nice. Good. That sounds
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Um, so I've been getting back to you know there's there's sci-fi show Foundation.
Yeah.
So like the third season came out earlier this year, but I
Ooh,
never watched it at the
okay.
time. I'm watching it again. It's like
Mike watches that when I'm like gone, and I'm like, "What is the show?" He's like, "I don't know."
it is like I mean I just love sci-fi, so it's just like pumping into my
He
veins.
does too. He
And it
does
just
too.
and it looks cool and it's got great design and like the ships look cool and I love all the sort of like world building and stuff, but it is also like bad shit and kind of barmy and like really silly at times. But like it's great and like there are like also the cast is kind of stacked as well. Like Lee Pace is so incredible in it as the kind of like basically the setup is that there's this genetic dynasty where it's basically this one man and three of his clones are ruling this kind of empire.
Mhm.
And there's the young one, the one who's like middle aged, I guess, and the older one. And basically that is obviously decaying. You know, this idea that it's the same person can like rule a thing for so long is obviously not going to work. And this group called the Foundation kind of builds up, and they're kind of fated to kind of not fated, but like destined, I guess, to kind of come along and kind of like save the universe from complete decay, basically. But yeah, it's daft and wild, and I'm loving it. But like, I don't know that I could recommend it necessarily, but I
It's
really
bringing you
enjoy it.
joy.
It's bringing me joy, and I'm loving getting back into that world.
I love it. Yeah, it's like it shows up, and I'm like, "What is?" Yeah, but it's yeah. So it's so interesting to see like what he will watch when I'm. It's like
Yeah.
a lot of James Bond movies, and usually like Star Trek.
Did he watch? Does he watch For All Mankind as well? Do you know?
Uh-uh.
Okay.
He did Raised by Wolves,
Oh yeah, I came in to watch it too.
which is weird.
Yeah,
But that's a Ridley Scott one, isn't it?
it is. Yeah,
It's trippy. I don't quite kn I think he probably had a place he wanted to take it. I think it only got two
I
seasons.
think it did. Yeah,
Yeah. So that kind of stuff.
it's cool. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. So we have reached the end of this week's episode. Can you tell everybody where they can find us?
You can find us at bendypodcast.com. You can watch our video of this on every platform now.
Yeah.
Sorry, that went really high. Every platform now. But we were getting a lot of views on YouTube and likes on YouTube. So
Nice.
thank you for if you're checking us out on any platform, just give us a little like
We very much appreciate it.
because I look and I care.
Yeah. Yeah, she looks, I do not care. Well, I
Yeah, he
do
doesn't.
care. I just don't want to look.
Yeah, he doesn't look. I don't
Um,
give him access, so
no, thank
he
God.
feels happy all the time.
I do. It's amazing. Well, no, well.
Right?
Right. Okay. I love it, folks. In that case, we have reached the actual end of this week's episode. And as always, we'd like to remind you to stay
Stay bendy.
bendy. Love it. That was a
It
good
did,
one.
it was normally
And
it's like playing music on Zoom, and it did not ask us this time though, so I don't
um,
know.
Beth, you've reached the end of your game. Do you feel cathartic afterwards?
Yeah.
No. Wow. There it is,
Bye
everybody. All right. We love you. Bye.
bye bye.